It's been rough, with the news about the Vivienne passing away so young,
Yeah,
only 32.
really sad.
It's just incredibly sad. They brought so much energy and just talent to the world, and it's really deeply felt their absence,
Yeah.
especially in the LGBTQ plus community.
It really is a heartbreaking loss. And their impact, went way beyond just the entertainment industry.
Right.
They were really a beacon of self-expression,
Yeah.
a symbol of hope and resilience for so many.
For those who might not be as familiar with their work,
Yeah,
the Vivienne was so much more than just a drag queen.
absolutely.
Winner of the very first season of RuPaul's Drag Race UK,
Yeah.
and went on to accomplish so much more. TV, stage, you name it.
Hmm.
So today we're going to do a deep dive into their incredible journey and celebrate those accomplishments. And also try to understand, why they resonated with so many people,
Yeah.
especially young folks who really saw themselves, I think, in the Vivienne story.
Well, and it's interesting because their rise to fame kind of coincided with this growing acceptance of drag
Totally.
in mainstream culture.
Yeah.
So you think back to when they won Drag Race UK back in 2019,
Yeah.
it wasn't just a personal victory. It was really like a cultural moment,
Totally.
like a sign that things were changing,
Yeah.
that drag was kind of stepping out from the shadows and into the spotlight.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You're right. It was a huge win for LGBTQ plus visibility,
Yeah.
especially in the UK.
Yeah.
The Vivienne winning the crown. It was a powerful message to everyone, but especially to young people who may have been, struggling with their own identities.
Absolutely. And that message of self-acceptance,
Right.
of really embracing who you are, resonated really deeply with a generation that was, I think, hungry for some authenticity.
Yeah.
And, this is a time when social media was really exploding and, everyone felt this pressure
Oh, yeah.
to fit in, to present this perfect image.
Totally.
And the Vivienne kind of came along and said, screw that, be yourself, be loud, be proud.
And they weren't afraid to back it up with talent.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, you think about that iconic Vivienne Westwood-inspired name.
Right.
That was a statement right from the beginning.
Absolutely.
That nod to fashion and pushing those boundaries and just being unapologetically glamorous.
Yeah, and beyond the name, like, let's not forget that they were incredibly skilled in the art of drag itself, like
Yeah.
the makeup, the costumes, the performances.
Yeah.
It was all so meticulously crafted, a real testament to their dedication and their artistry.
You might be surprised to learn that the Vivienne was a total triple threat. A singer, a dancer, and an actor.
Wow.
They didn't just dominate Drag Race, they actually conquered the ice rink on Dancing on Ice,
Oh, that's right.
finishing third in 2023.
That's amazing.
Who knew a drag queen could be so graceful on skates?
I know. It really challenged that perception of what a drag queen could be.
Right.
Suddenly, here's the Vivienne defying those expectations and showing the world that drag wasn't limited to nightclubs or reality TV.
Right.
Like, they had the talent and the ambition to really take on any challenge.
And they didn't stop there. They
Huh?
went on to star in The Vivienne Takes on Hollywood, showed off that comedic timing and larger-than-life personality,
Absolutely.
and their stage presence was just undeniable.
Oh, yeah.
They even played the Wicked Witch of the West in The Wizard of Oz, both on tour and in London's West End.
That's incredible. It's that versatility that's so remarkable. They
Yeah.
weren't content with just one avenue of success. Like, they wanted to explore it all,
Yeah.
and they did it with this confidence and charisma. So it's no wonder they became such an inspiration.
Especially within the LGBTQ plus community.
Yeah, absolutely.
Their passing has been met with just this outpouring of grief and love
Yeah.
from fans and fellow Drag Race stars alike.
So many tributes.
Michelle Visage called them a beacon to so many.
Yeah.
And tributes from Bimini Bon Balash, Cheryl Hole, and countless others just flooded social media.
It's really amazing.
Even the BBC released a statement expressing their immense pride in the Vivienne's achievements
I saw that.
and highlighting their legacy
Yeah.
as a symbol of creativity and authenticity. It's clear their impact reached far beyond just the stage.
Sure.
And it's incredibly poignant when you consider their last Instagram post from Boxing Day.
Oh, wow.
They were reflecting on a really successful 2024, looking forward to 2025, talking about reaching new heights, achieving dreams.
Yeah.
It's heartbreaking knowing those dreams were cut short.
It really underscores the fragility of life. And it makes that message of, living authentically and pursuing your passions
Right.
all the more powerful.
Their publicist, Simon Jones, said something that really stuck with me.
Oh, yeah.
He said, "No one has ever made me laugh in my life as much as Viv did. Their comic genius and quick wit was like no other. And
Uh,
he also talked about their warmth and the joy they brought to everyone around them,
yeah,
even amidst the sadness. I think it's important to remember that the Vivienne brought so much laughter and light into the world. It's a
absolutely.
reminder that even though their life was cut tragically short, that legacy of joy and resilience and self-love
Right.
will continue to inspire.
For
Now, before we move on to some specific moments in their career,
Okay.
I want to ask you, what resonates most with you about the Vivienne's journey? What makes their story so impactful?
You know what's so fascinating to me is how they managed to connect with such a diverse audience.
Yeah.
Like that message of self-acceptance,
Right?
it transcended age, background,
Totally.
and even sexual orientation.
Yeah.
They had this incredible ability to make everyone feel seen and celebrated for who they were.
Yeah, there's something about their story that just feels incredibly universal.
Yeah,
It's about overcoming challenges and embracing your individuality and finding your voice.
right.
And those are themes that resonate with everyone, no matter who you are or where you come from.
Absolutely. And I think that's a big part of why their legacy will continue to endure.
Yeah.
The Vivienne story is a reminder that we all have the power to create our own narratives,
Right.
to challenge the status quo, to
Yeah.
make the world a more colorful and accepting place.
I love that.
Yeah.
So true.
And their impact on younger generations, particularly within the LGBTQ plus community, it's undeniable.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, imagine being a teenager. Maybe you're struggling with your identity,
Right.
and you see someone like the Vivienne on TV owning their truth, achieving success on their own terms.
Absolutely.
It's a powerful image.
It's like they gave permission to a whole generation
Yeah.
to be themselves,
Yeah.
to embrace those quirks and those differences.
Definitely.
Remember, this was even before Drag Race had really gone global.
Right.
So to see the Vivienne win that first UK season, it was a huge moment
Yeah.
for representation.
It normalized drag in a way that we hadn't really seen before. It
Right.
wasn't this niche subculture anymore.
Yeah.
It was front and center on primetime television, and it was winning hearts and minds.
And they used that platform to advocate for LGBTQ plus rights,
Yeah,
to challenge those prejudices, and to show the world that drag is an art form
for sure.
deserving of respect. They were never afraid to speak their mind,
What?
even when it came to those difficult or controversial topics.
Yeah, it was that fearlessness, I think, that made them so compelling.
Totally.
They weren't interested in playing it safe or conforming to expectations.
Yeah.
Like, they were here to break down those walls and challenge the status quo.
Right.
And they did it with a wit and a humor
Right.
that disarmed even the most skeptical viewers.
And speaking of humor,
Oh, yeah.
the Vivienne's comedic timing was legendary.
Yeah, it really was.
They could have you rolling on the floor, laughing 1 minute,
Right.
and then make you think deeply about important issues the next.
It was such a delicate balance.
Yeah,
But they navigated it with such skill.
totally.
They understood the power of laughter to
Yeah.
connect with people, to open hearts and minds. And they weren't afraid to use that platform to address those serious issues,
Right,
to shine a light on injustices,
right.
and to advocate for change.
And it wasn't just their words.
Yep.
It was their actions, too. They were
Oh.
constantly pushing boundaries, challenging those norms,
Yeah,
expanding the definition of what it even meant to be a drag queen.
absolutely. Like, remember that run on Dancing on Ice?
Oh, yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Not only did they showcase amazing athleticism,
Right.
but they also challenged stereotypes about drag queens and what they were capable of.
Totally. It was like they were saying, yeah, I'm a drag queen and I can also be a fierce competitor on the ice.
Yeah.
They refused to be put in a box.
Right.
And that resonated with so many people, especially younger generations,
Yeah.
who were tired of being told who they should be.
Absolutely. It was a masterclass
Yeah.
in subverting expectations.
Totally.
And they did it all while maintaining this sense of humility and grace.
Right.
Like they never lost sight of where they came from.
Right.
And they always remained grateful for the opportunities that they were given.
They had this incredible ability to connect with people on a personal level,
Yeah.
to make everyone feel like they were in on the joke,
Yeah.
like they were a part of something special.
And that's the mark of a true icon.
Right.
You know, they don't just entertain,
Right.
they inspire, they challenge, they make you think differently about the world.
And the Vivienne did all of that.
Yeah.
And more, they showed us that it's okay to be different, to
Oh.
embrace your quirks, and to fight for what you believe in, even when it's hard.
And they did it all with a smile on their face and a twinkle in their eye.
Totally.
Their energy was infectious, their spirit was indomitable,
Yeah.
and their legacy will continue to inspire for generations to come.
You know, we focused a lot on their impact on the LGBTQ plus community,
Right.
but it's important to acknowledge that their message of self-love and acceptance
Totally.
resonated far beyond any one group.
Yeah,
They were a role model for anyone who felt like an outsider,
absolutely.
anyone who was struggling to find their place in the world.
Yeah, it's true. The Vivienne story is something so many people can connect with. I mean, who hasn't felt like they don't quite fit in sometimes?
Yep. And the Vivienne showed us that those differences are what make us special, what make us shine.
And what's so remarkable is how they took those feelings of being different
Yeah.
and turned them into a source of strength, a platform for creativity and self-expression.
Yeah.
You know, they didn't just embrace their individuality.
Right.
They celebrated it.
And they encouraged everyone else to do the same.
Totally.
That message was all about finding your own unique voice,
Mm-hmm.
your own way of expressing yourself,
Yeah.
and not being afraid to let your light shine.
If we kind of connect this back to the bigger picture, the Vivienne's journey really reflects this broader cultural shift
Yeah.
towards greater acceptance and inclusivity.
Right.
Like they were part of this generation that challenged traditional norms and redefined what it means to be successful, to be beautiful, to be happy.
It's like they paved the way for a whole new generation of
Mm-hmm.
artists and performers and creators to be their authentic selves without apology. They showed us that you don't have to fit into a mold to make a difference in the world. In fact, it's often those who break the mold
Right.
who have the most profound impact.
And that's a legacy that will continue to ripple outwards, I think.
Yeah.
Like we're seeing more and more diversity in all areas of life,
Right.
in entertainment, in politics, in business.
Totally.
And that's a direct result of people like the Vivienne who had the courage to stand up and say, this is who I am and I'm not going to apologize for it.
Their story is a reminder that even though the world can feel dark and divided, sometimes there's still so much beauty and hope out there.
Yeah.
And it's up to each of us to find our own way of contributing to that beauty, to making the world a little brighter, a little kinder, a little more accepting.
The Vivienne showed us that life is too short to waste on negativity and self-doubt. You know, they
Right.
live their life on their own terms with passion, humor, and an unwavering commitment to being true to themselves.
Totally.
And that's a lesson we can all learn from,
For sure.
no matter who we are or where we come from.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into the Vivienne's life and legacy, I think it's important to remember that their story is far from over.
Yeah.
Their spirit, their message of self-love and acceptance will continue to inspire and empower countless individuals for years to come.
Absolutely.
And for those of you who want to experience the Vivienne's magic firsthand, I encourage you to explore their work. Watch their performances, listen to their interviews, delve into their online presence.
Yeah.
Their energy is contagious and their message is timeless.
The Vivienne's journey reminds us that life is a gift, and it's up to each of us to make the most of that gift. To embrace our individuality, to celebrate our differences, and to never be afraid to let our light shine. The world needs more Viviennes. Let's all try to be a little bit more Vivienne in our own lives.